What's up, everybody? Sorry I'm late. I just got home from a dance. I just got home from the dance. So I'm still fancy. What up? It's been a busy weekend. The Bills win, bro. Who'd the Bills play today? Is it still happening? I missed it. I was at a daddy-daughter dance, cutting a rug, and my room's not heated up, so it's cold in here. But yeah, I had my dude. I had my hair was combed and stuff. I looked like somebody's dad and everything. It's crazy. It was crazy. Yeah, good time. Yeah, this is fine. This is who I am. This is me. This is me. I just change into grubby clothes before the stream usually, so I don't make any of you guys feel bad about being scrubs. But I always dress like this. No, I don't. Mike Bird, Richard Hensley, Wild Bill, Tim Smith, Reitza. They beat the Ravens. Ooh, 27-25. That was a game. Sounds like. Sweet. Pops, Francis, Victor. Cool. Very cool. I figured out one of my last issues on the trimmer's truck that I was like, how am I going to make that? If you look at the movie, there's a couple shots where you see those front light inner weird diffuser lights. Well, looky there. Look at that. Bro, I made it. And I'll tell you how in a minute. They're already installed on the truck. I printed off too. But I made it. And it wasn't super easy, but it was. And it was easier to 3D print it than it was to make it by hand. Greg Campbell, what's going on, man? It feels like it's been a minute, maybe. Yeah, Dad. I'm going to show you guys a trimmer's truck right now. Dude, look at the windshield wiper fuzz. And then there's those light things in. So I'm getting super close to what I would say is finished on this. Here, let's get more forehead in the shot. Okay, there we go. Yeah, you guys saw me messing with the stencils on Thursday, and I ended up figuring out how to fix that. So I fixed it. I figured out how to fix it so I could stencil it. But when I did that, I didn't like the V&E, so I used the original V&E and the new Odd Jobs together to make it work. You see the V&Es are different sizes. What's up, Philip? So, dude, and I love how it's painted on instead of like a sticker, because I was able to, it doesn't take any dimension, it doesn't add anything. It's paint. The wheels even have rust and dust now. Same with the front axle. I love it. The front needs a little emblem on the grill, but that's, if you look at the movie, I think I nailed it on what I had to make for those interior inner light diffusers. Bro, does that look cool or what? I think it looks great. And it's okay if you don't, but I do. So yeah, man. Pretty pumped. What's up, Dan? Dell. Yeah, I'm pretty tickled by it. And I played with airbrush a lot. Yeah. Dude, for what it is, I think I don't know if you could get closer. Maybe a little overdid some patina, but I think we're gonna live with it. Yeah, dude. I mean, it's a dusty truck. I did it. I think I did it, man. So I think I'm gonna print off my own dice. And the marker lights, I got to do something. But this was a big problem. This is easy. These were a trick. And I'm actually super pumped to tell you how I did it. So take a good look at those round things and ask yourself, how did he do that? Especially not knowing CAD. Yeah, that thing looks killer, bro. That thing looks good to me. I love it. It turned out pretty good. Thanks, Eddie K. That's my first real. I've used that airbrush more in this last week than the whole time I've had it. Man, it's chilly. Yes, Barry, the Trimmers movie, the first one. My dad was. I made that for my dad. He once he saw me 3D printing truck bodies and stuff, he's like, dude, you got to look at the Trimmers truck. And so there's not really a file for that truck. So I fabbed the backside a lot. I got the basic shape of the bed sides with the angles and the tube, which was huge. But the squares and the fenders and the tailgate, I had to really make on my own. The Twisters movie is a similar truck, but it doesn't have that thrift side bed with those cool fenders. But that'd be a cool truck too. And I've been thinking about a Unimog. I found one that's made for a Traxxas TRX4. And normally I'm not about portal axles, but a Unimog woulda had some of them, maybe all of them, have portals, so it makes sense. So I got a TRX4 2021 Traxxas Bronco that I think may be the chassis for the Unimog. We'll see. I don't know. This dude is done, but I want to do the mirrors and windshield wipers and come up with something to write on the side. What's up, Jerry Craig? Oh, cool. Yeah, dude, the Twister Jeep's very similar. It's just that it's a regular bed. And then, yeah, of course, there's other trucks in there too. After a certain point on the Trimmers movie, you don't see the truck anymore. So if it's the first one, all you got to watch is about the first 18, 20 minutes. But you'll watch the whole movie because You won't be able to not. Yeah. Yeah, man. I ate at a real nice restaurant today and went and cut a rug and tore it up with my daughter today. It was fun. I could see that. Yeah, it's easier to do. It's easier to get that Jeep. The coolest part of that thing was making it work. You know, I used real diamond plate to fab that bumper, and then I used wheel wells from a trailer and shaped them to do the fenders there. And then, of course, making up how to attach it was a whole nother thing. That is a dusty, rusty truck. Yes, sir. I was looking forward to crawling all week and got my SCX6 put back together, and then was reminded Saturday morning that Junior had a basketball game on Saturday and Sunday this week. So I didn't do it. Jerry finally finished the repaint and decals on the Louis the Fourth P51D. I saw those pictures on Facebook. I think it's looking sharp. I hope you guys aren't too bummed out about your TikTok accounts. Nice. Happy birthday. 42. This is your year then, man. That's the answer to the universe and everything. Right? What's up, Dan? You never use TikTok? What? You don't put your dances out and stuff? You don't dance? I had to clarify tonight when us dads were talking to each other. When us dads were talking to each other about, what we did for a living, I had to make sure they knew I wasn't a full-time dancer, This is par for the course, comes with the territory when you're super good at dancing. Who said? Boss. Is he? RC Geeks working at Motion? That's cool. What's up, Fred? Back it up. You want to see the trimmer's truck done, weathered up, patinaed, and all the stuff on there good. Now the stencil's on there and the front lights. I got them made, bro. Oh yeah. Let me tell you how in the world did I do that? Funny you should ask. I'll tell you. Marketing. Yeah. What happened to Wes? I like those guys, but there's a slight degree of don't care ability with that. I made a circle. It was like a half sphere. I sliced it. And then for the lines, I used, because I don't know, it was easier to use. This was printed this way. It was easier to use the letter I than it was to shrink a box down and turn it into a line. So I use a letter I for those nubs on the outer part of the bezel. And then I used the letter I for the slits, and they go right through. I mean, they're all the way through. Um, so with the eyes in the circle, I turned them into a negative part and adjusted them um, to achieve the effect. So yeah, and I printed off a few to get it right, but I paused the video where I could see those bezels in the movie, and I was like, okay, that's what I got to do. So I did it, and they're in the front of the truck now, and it looks fantastic. And I just printed them in gray. But yeah, dude, this is what I mean. There may be things that you don't know how to do in CAD or whatever. You can work with what you have. I watched a couple videos on how to do text on this stuff. And then I'm like, for what I'm doing right now, the letter I and a circle disc will allow me to do everything I want to do right now. So I did. And a few prints didn't come out the way I liked them because it was actually, like I said, it was a half circle. So like a lens that had a radius to it. But I didn't like how those turned out. So I stretched it out, made it tall, and then sliced it so it was flat on both sides. And I got it the right size with those little, in real life on the truck, these little stubs that you see is where it screws in. So there'd be screw holes in those little nubs on the outside that screw that in, and I'm sure how you adjust the angle of the light or whatever and attach it. So that's what I was going for, and I'm happy with how that turned out. I didn't know how I was going to do it. I've been saving little chunks of aluminum and junk, and I was going to hand make them, and then I'm like, gosh, those are so small. And I've been able to, when I learned how to make a few stencils and stuff, I thought, well, I've learned enough now with this that I think I can make those lights. And this, I did the old goofy. I glued stuff on to hold those little middle bits of the letters on. And then what gave me the idea on the eyes was when I did this. See the eyes? I just put eyes on there and oriented them at an angle to hold the middle of the letters in there. Way more clean than what I had done originally. And once I did this, I was like, okay, I can do the light thing now. What's up, Bumblebee Head? Yeah. So a lot of make and do, pumped. And then I taped it on and masked it off and got cranking on that truck, man. That dude is about ready for delivery at this point. Now, legit, I need a little broom and shovel. That's about it. And you guys get to fly, or you got crappy weather where you are too? We got snow and cold. Yesterday was, I think, around freezing. Today is more like 10, 15. Yeah, man. Good to see you guys. Notre Dame tomorrow. What's your predictions? That game's at 7:30 my time. Thank goodness. Yeah, I definitely had to alter it and play with it a few times to get it the way I wanted it. What's up, Frankie? I even cleaned my build plate off. It was nasty. 5 in Muncie. Whew. Boss likes the Storch. Good slow flyer. Richard says no flying for him. So yeah, don't forget Wild Bill's show tomorrow for the real flight fly-in. I'm gonna be Notre Dame gaming it tomorrow. And yeah. Yeah. Hope you had a good weekend. They're never long enough, man. They're never long enough. Never long enough. 7 in Idaho. Could justify leaving the house. Yeah, dude. I get it. I wouldn't have. I was just glad I found clothes to wear. I don't generally polish up for much. Pretty low key, but had a good time. $12 in Alabama. What's going on? Tell them to turn off that harp business. 18 where you are? Holy smokes. Wild Bill says it's 51 where he is. Man. It's probably that cold in here right now. Yeah. With the streaming, man, you just got to do it when it makes sense for you. Because it depends on the show, too. I mean, if there's an airplane guy on, it's all something to consider. But you got to do it when it works for you. You know what I mean? There's almost a unspoken kind of gentleman's agreement about trying not to stomp each other. But that's within the group. Once you get outside of the group, nobody cares. Yeah, Bumblebee Head. Check out Wild Bill's channel. He's here in the chat. Every Monday night, they're doing a real flight fly-in, and they stream it. So Wild Bill MCs it. Fred used to do it, and they've handed it off. So Wild Bill, 9:30 Eastern time, 6:30 California time, does the show, the real fly-in. Dan got receivers in his Arrows F15 and Cherokee today. That is a win. You had receivers left over. I love the bind and fly, man. If especially if you don't have extra receivers, because man, you get a bind and fly and you get like a $85, maybe $115 receiver for like $30. You already had receivers, I assume. What's up, Roy? Oh, nice. There's a sale going on again right now. A snowy sale and like a clearance sale. There's a lot of cool stuff. The base camp kits on the base camp kits on sale again, which is cool. I'm almost ready to do another one, but I kind of want to do something different. So I don't know. I'd like to build another kit though. But yeah, man, the real fight flying's fun. It's another hangout. I mean, honestly, if I showed up but didn't come on, there would probably be a chat going for a while. Eddie K said he wanted to do the nose gear gyro on the Viper 90, but the receiver did not have enough channels to split it out. Yeah. So it comes with a 6-channel, and you need like a 7 or 8-channel receiver to do it. Yeah, the timber is on sale. My Horizon link's in the description too, guys. Sometimes I wish I still had the website. That was kind of nice, but it's not worth it if it isn't used. Yeah, the wheel. When you separate out the wheel, yeah, you would need another channel. That's true. You also have to update the receiver to get that, which is the same as a factory reset is. So you'll be setting up the whole receiver over again. I mean, of course, the flight control part will be remembered, but you'll have to set up the stability portion again. And that's what I'd say is, keep that in mind. Like every plane nowadays is got 2 setups, the flight controls and the stability setup. And even when you use an older receiver in a new plane and bind it up and change the flight controls to suit the new plane, that receiver will remember the stability portion from the last plane. You have to intentionally go through the process to set that up. I would have liked to seen the Bills play. Man, the Lions got beat, right, the other day. What's up with that? They're not supposed to get beat. Who beat them? Wasn't it somebody silly? If the Lions are out, what do you think, man? Bills and Chiefs in the Super Bowl? I'll be good. That's right. Washington got them. That's right. The Commanders, formerly known as the Redskins. Yeah. They must have to beat the Lions. Right, Eddie? Seriously. You know anybody who was bummed that was mad about them being the Redskins? When you grow up knowing a team, did you ever think it was a derogatory term? I didn't. What about every guy in the world named William? Are they going to get uptight over the Bills being called the Bills? Buffalo Bill. How dare you? Keith Christie, what up? Both teams that beat the Vikings are out. They are going back. Good. Good. In about a month, I'm going to be in Florida, and I hope it's warm then there. Yeah. Commanders. What? JCB, what up? Yeah, Fred. I'm not exactly sure what you and Jerry are talking about, but I need to check it out. I think Fred, you put out a video on the new FMS LC80 Pro version. I need to see it. I need to check it out. Notre Dame, man. Ohio's looking good, though, too. But Notre Dame's been looking good. Everybody's got something to prove tomorrow. To the E-Fan meet. Where? What, in Florida? No. It's vacation. It's vacation. If it's close enough, I might pop by to kiss babies and shake hands, but it's family deal. They go once a year. Last year, I think I just went for a few days, but I'm going for the whole time, like a week this time. And I'm not bringing work with me. So I may be doing the Thursday from a cell phone if I do it. I think Sunday I'll be home in time. I'm not sure exactly. Yeah, thanks, Jeff. It's nice, man. It's not very often I just turn off and check out. And the funny thing about vacation is I actually get really good sleep because I don't have my room to noodle around in, and I'll actually go to bed at a decent time, which I do not. I haven't. I've always stayed up way too late. Always. So there's that. But yeah, man. I think we may poke around the Horizon site here in a minute and just see kind of what's on sale if you guys want to. There's going to be a bunch of planes with some, dollars off, which is cool. And if you guys didn't know, we can take a look at that. I still need to go shopping for the camera, man. Hard to when there's fun in the shop. Yeah, I'm away. That's the one nice thing about when I'm out of town or on a vacation. I have no control, and it's nice. I have no control, and I go to bed early, and I just don't really, every day in my life here, I seem to really, very much have an idea or care what's happening, or plan and this and that. And I tell you, when I get out of town like that, I am just along for the ride. I don't care much what happens, It's nice. And we used to drive to Chicago to hop on a bird and then go. Now there's an airport in our backyard, so we fly right out of here. And that's nice because I hate driving through Chicago. So at the end of a vacation, the last thing I want to do is drive through that place. So when we get home, we're like 25 minutes from the house now. Dad, thank you for that. So pretty pumped about it. Pretty pumped about that. And it's just as well my good camera's not working. My desk is a whirlwind of activity. Paint and airbrush and all that stuff is out still. Yeah, I don't have to make the drive. That's what's awesome. Dude, it is a quick from the South Bend airport, man. I mean, it's 25 minutes. I'm home instead of 2 hours through Chicago. 2 hours isn't even bad, but through Chicago, I mean, of course it's doable, but I'd rather not. I carry enough anxiety really anyway on my own without any help. And so if I can avoid it, I'm glad to. And I think I may be pissed and moaned about it enough that we started just going with the airline that'll take us from our backyard instead. Why not? When they sold us on air travel, that was the point. Convenience, right? Hello. I used to live in Chicago, but I hated coming and going. Yeah, man. So tell us about your projects you guys are working on, man. What are you guys working on? What are you wanting to be working on? I tell you, one day I need to get those. I do want to do the strut mod on that big Carbon Z sometime. That thing I'd love to have with some suspension on it. Success in your Husky. That's probably awesome. That's probably awesome. Working on a little F-16 turbine jet, says Victor. Somehow I feel like little is a understatement. Suspension struts on Carbon ZT 28. Roy's doing. Jerry updated his NX10 to the latest version yesterday. 125th sprint car static model. That's cool. Boss working on a 118-inch Beaver from Warbird models. Just getting started. Yeah, Eddie, I did. And basically it's, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, but rule of thumb on a 2-bladed prop to a 3-blader should be, let's say it's a 15.7 2-blader. If you're going to a 3-blader, then you would go 14.7 or 15.6 3-blader, if I recall correctly. Surface stuff now with cold and wind. Might assemble the 2,000 meter Beaver with floats for snow and water. Yeah, nice. Yeah, dude. Me too. Big. There's a few projects I want to do, and it really is all car stuff right now. I really have enjoyed the wrenching and what I feel like I'm doing with the printer. It's pretty focused right now on crawlers, dude. Working on a PT-19 for the Warbirds event in July. Nice. 15.6 3-blade on your Carbon Z T28. Because the prop for real is what? A 14.75 by 8? What's the real prop on that? Something like that. I thought. Yeah, I'm anxious to. I like, of course, we all like nice weather, but I'm wanting to get nice weather so I can do some spray painting with rattle cans. Francis is designing a big MQ-9 Reaper. What is that? Is that a plane? Kenny, what up, man? I saw him in here somewhere. What did he say he was working on? 3-blade since new, said Roy. Nice. The performance pretty good on that size prop. You say it's a what, 15 by 6? That's well within spec, like amp draw. Because if it's a 14.75, might as well be a 15 by 7. Going to 15.6 seems appropriate, unless my logic is flawed on that. Like I said, I seem to remember if you keep it the same size, you go down a number in pitch. And if you keep the pitch, then you need to go down a number in size. Anybody hear about a SR71 at all? Asks Craig. Wild Bill says, if any of you guys want free downloads for RC kits, try OZ free plans. Big size drone. Make for a nice sailplane too. FPV, obviously. I want to check out what RC Girl's been doing. She's been throwing FPV in a couple crawlers, but I wonder about that unit being used in planes as well. Might be cool, especially depending on the size of the plane. Carrying it shouldn't be an issue. Outer Zone Vintage and old time planes. She's 3D printing. That's what I need to put on the side of my truck. Kenny's vases. The many faces of Kenny's vases. Dude, between your vases and my wheel chalk business, Fortune 500, look out. Oh, nice, Victor. Guess who else is 3D printing? Have you noticed? Mainly for dried flowers. Someone mentioned it earlier. Yeah. Yep. Philip says the Zero was phenomenal. Excellent flyer. Last video on it will be posted tomorrow. He guesses. Keith says that's too bad for Craig. You know, I hope it all works out for everybody. You know what I mean? Didn't work out for me. Maybe the way I would have planned it, but whatever is whatever. What's he going to be doing there? Wild Bill is on at 9:30 Eastern time. Dancing Wing Storch has seen better days, but it still flies. Nice. Yeah, on YouTube. Yeah, Eddie, that makes sense. I mean, not that he isn't a marketing guy or whatever, but I mean, he's a talent. You know what I mean? He's a talent. In design and or product development would be, I think, right up his alley. You know. There's the link to Bill's channel for the Real Flight Fly-In Fred just posted. Check that out. Real Flight Fly-In every Monday night, 9:30 Eastern. Thank you, Dan. Yeah, he has. Maybe more than once. Thanks. Yes, at least once. Yep. I like Chris. I've talked to Chris. Good guy. Yeah, smart dude. That's good. Whatever happened to Alpha? I was there before all those dudes. Philip says it's been Blade Hellies for him. That's always the question, isn't it? You know? It's kind of what I thought, Victor. What's up, Shay? Chilling. Yeah, man. Me and Mike were on that. Roy, I was the first one there at Motion. Me and Mike were the first dudes really to work there, other than warehouse guys. I remember being on the phone with one of the owners when he had to split to do the interview with Alpha. And Alpha really kept to himself. Nobody really ever saw him, but I was at him and I and some others did a show at Oshkosh and set up a booth. So it was great to spend time, with him, me, Mike, and Alpha, and who else was with us? I can't remember. Right. Yeah, he's fairly private about it. Yep. Fun. Eddie K, yeah. I was there when they got the contract and when they lost it. Yeah, I remember that, Dan. Yep, I remember that. Because sometimes if it was winter here, they would make the product videos in California. Don't know, Roy. But yeah, Eddie, I remember getting the call. It was literally the day Mike and I flew. We made a video of the Dynam Catalina on the snow, and I did that little tiny Archer, that Cherokee Archer. Mike and I were sitting in the car, warming up, taking a break, and got a call when they landed that deal. And then at that point, you saw us doing a ton of E-flite products for the motion YouTube channel that I ran at the time. Fred, it's absolutely brutal depending on how you handle it. Yep. Meanwhile, I remodeled 3 houses while I was doing it, and I should have just stuck with that. Maybe. Don't know. I mean, has there been a lot of new stuff? I would venture to say the things you've seen were already designed and in the works, right? Stuff like the Cougar and things you have seen come out recently probably were done by Alpha, potentially. Eddie K, that's a great question. The Cherokee was just super cold and we owned it. It was awesome. Crosswind just nailed it. In the snow, 25 degrees or something. And the one that hit the light pole was the little hand launch Zero, is what that one was. And it was under the E-flite brand, and it had an O-ring to hold the wing on. But I think it was an old Kyosho plane. Yeah. It's all good. Good times come, good times go. Depends who you ask. Jeff, that would make sense, kind of. But yeah, it's crazy how it goes. It's crazy how it goes because I remember I was very excited about FMS, and it was being carried at Banana or Nitro or something, and it was like very promising. And it just wasn't supported well. And the Rock Hobby was a new line of those racers from FMS. And I was like, man, these guys got that exclusive and figured that out. That's promising. And so until Diamond Hobby was FMS, I mean, FMS's thing is they always compete with their best customer all the time. And Force RC, Diamond Hobby, Fair RC, whatever you want to call it, they compete with their best customers all the time because they're trying to really etch out a spot, themselves. But I mean, at that time, once FMS went to Motion, we were killing Diamond Hobby, and Diamond Hobby was FMS. We were killing them. Horizon wasn't selling it yet. And then so I think it was the Diamond Hobby thing kind of fell apart. And then you get to where there's a bidding war between who's going to get FMS. We thought at the time we were about to wrap up FMS. And then it didn't work that way. Bidding war. Something. Yeah, they flooded the hobby shops with it. Eddie K, I have no idea. Yeah, dude, RC Air Training Command. Yeah, boss. I get it. It'd be easy not to know because there's been nothing but it's been an identity crisis for most of the time. Yep. Yeah, but it was exciting to see that happen and feel like you were working for a place that had some sway in what was coming out, and improvements were made at a lot of our what we discovered, and recommendations and blah blah. I mean, only if there was an issue. Like nobody was trying to reinvent the wheel, and legit. By the time we got our hands on it, it was for the most part done. Weird marketing. So by the time we got it, they were already making them. So unless it was a serious issue, a lot of things you learned for the next one. You wouldn't go back unless there was a real necessity to go back and fix something already in production. I don't know if y'all remember the suspension struts on the Tiger Cat. They were wrong twice. And I was the one who had them to find it out. Fun. So I'm not going to keep you too long tonight. I'm probably going to go in about 5 minutes. There is a stream on tonight elsewhere, and it's a it's pretty surface based, but it's fun. There's a handful of guys on the show usually, and I've been popping in and checking them out. Urban RC. If you go to the Urban RC channel, I probably listen to them in the background while I mess around in here. Dan, did you ever get a model to test and it was too much of a... Yes, but again, by the time we got it, it wasn't really testing. It was somebody had already signed off on this thing. So not too much. Yeah, Urban Legend RC. Those guys are fun. Did I ever get them all to too much a piece of shit to fly? Yes, but we would still work it out. So what I mean by that is, like, Captain Mike had the Dynam 262 because we were selling that stuff too, right? There's a BitGo that falls in here all somewhere too. It's convoluted. Yeah, they're live now. Yep. So man, Mike would bring out the we tried to film that Dynam 262 I don't know how many times before we finally got it to go. And that's why when the video finally came out, that Mike had done a ton of mods to it already because it needed them. He had to fix it, you know. Funny. Yeah, if you guys go over there and check out those guys, tell them who sent you, will you? They go a few times a week, and I think we're over the top of each other maybe Thursday and Sunday. It is what it is. I've been doing it longer probably, so I'm not changing. It's like parlay, right? It's just a recommendation. It's not really written in stone, you know. Cool, Bill. Yeah. Yeah, he's popped into... I popped into their show and say hi and contribute, you know, now for a few weeks. And I've seen him show up in comment section on the crawler videos I put out recently and stuff. So yeah, it's they're doing it, man. They're doing it. There's one guy that's making his own light kits and stuff for cars, selling them. It's cool, man. Having fun. Not one. I don't think any of them's got an affiliate anywhere, and it's cool if they do, but it's cool if they don't. It's nice. Just having a good time and sharing it out, dude. And they're making content, dude. So I know they would appreciate it. If you're into the surface content and the bashing side, I think there's a couple of those guys put out crawler videos, but it's a lot of bashing. You want to check that out, by all means, especially tonight since I'm pinching it kind of early. Thanks, Jeff. Yeah, boss. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, so have a good day tomorrow. Some of you guys will be off. I think some of you won't be. Um, I think I'm pretty sure I'm working. Yeah, absolutely great community, and I look forward to nicer weather too. And I'm not done flying, but I've been having a ball doing what I'm doing. So come on by Thursday. We got to figure out what kit I need to build next. And you guys, there is a new kind of promotion. There's a lot of clearance and a snowy sale thing happening at Horizon. If you guys, oh, that's cool, Bill. Nice. Where do you say that out right now? Are they cool? That's cool. Yeah, man. So yeah, I gotta decide what to do. And I'm like, I was looking at the base camp. I actually put it in my cart. I got no business putting it in my cart. And so I was like, you know what? Maybe not. Maybe I'll do thanks, Bill. Maybe I'll do cheaper to just buy a file for a Unimog and put it on my TRX4 that I already have. So I don't know. You guys want to see a Unimog 3D print deal come together? That's the files are like $25, and I think the bed file is like $750. But it's like I could make the bed out of like real metal and wood or something. Do the PayPal for payments so bad then? Yeah, that's great, Brian, because YouTube takes like 30% of what you see here, you know. And back in the day, bro, this show it was nuts. I mean, there were some days that were like $300, $200. I'm not worried about it. I mean, who can't use it? But that's not the point. But think about that. You got a $200 show and YouTube gets $60 of it, and the tax man gets his. Jeez. So yeah, that's good too. Yeah, cool. And I'll be over there in a minute. Yeah, I'm gonna go to Urban RC and listen to those guys. They're fun. I find myself laughing, and that's cool. I think it is nice when you have more than one person on doing a show a little bit. I've been able to pull it off with you guys in the chat for a minute now. So that's a cool thing, blessing, and cool to be able to do. But yeah, man, it's been a long one. And we had the daddy-daughter dance, and she went home. She stayed the night at one of her buddy's house who was at the dance too. And so dad come home by his lonesome. So the coffee's a little too late for the coffee, man. And man, I ate good, but I danced. I'm hungry again. Thanks, Richard. Yeah. Check me out on Thursday. Check out the videos, man. Really. And if you got nothing going on, I'm telling you, run a playlist. Turn on a playlist in the background, listen to the streams, hop in on the RC truck playlist, hop in on the airplanes, run a playlist. Let those videos run. You know what I mean? Let's do it. What's up, John? Did you oval race yesterday? I didn't find out about it till it was too late. Because once I saw the post, I was like, oh man. But it was like, it's started at 10 in the morning or something. They opened the doors and it was 1 o'clock or something when I saw the post. So I was like, nah. Potato wedges. There you go. Dude, that reminds me, I got leftovers from this place. Got 4th in the bucket race. What's the bucket race? Is there money in the bucket? Yeah, Richard, 3D printing has been awesome. It's a hobby in and of itself, and there is so much you can do with it. I'm not printing off little dinosaurs and anything, but bro, you could make a ton of junk for the kids, little tchotchkes. There is so much stuff you can make for just the cost of the filament. I'm very focused on what I've been doing with it, not for any reason other than when I'm messing with it, I've just got something in mind I want to make or accomplish. And I almost popped on the files for that Unimog last night. I think it's going to be an easy one to do because the Unimog I found is made for a TRX4. The doors open and stuff. It looks pretty good. You got to make a full circle around a bucket, total of 2 buckets, then finish the oval. Oh, sweet. That's fun. Any challenges like that with a handful of people is going to be a good time, man. And when it's too nasty to fly or too windy or it's nighttime and there's a place around you that has or offers any of this thing, it's not a bad idea to check it out because these places will not last forever. I have seen so many what you would look at from the outside and consider to be successful operations close. So if you got one close to you, check it out, man. Get you a basher, get you some little thing. Doesn't have to be fancy. And go race. Bosses had a good time with crawlers in the snow. And check out Kelly Klein's channel. I didn't get to go with those guys today. There's YB Normal. I think it's a YouTube channel. That's Kirk's channel. YB Normal. And then there's Kelly Klein, just by his name. And they've been filming our outings and putting out little videos on YouTube. So feel free to check that out. I didn't get to go with those guys Saturday morning. So they went to St. Pat's. And they had a couple big Land Rover SCX6s and then Sean's CJ7. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure those videos are out already. So if you want to see what I missed Saturday morning, check those out. Flagpole race. Yeah. I get it. Guys, thanks so much, man. I'll probably see you guys at Urban RC in a minute or something. If you're in still for a live chat, you'll see some of the buddies here that probably pop over there. So we'll see you guys Thursday. If you do, go Notre Dame, dude. That's a big deal. That's gonna be awesome. Come on, I hope they take it. Did you see the Netflix series or whatever it is? What? There's a whole series right now. This season is documented on like Peacock or Netflix or somewhere. The Notre Dame team. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. If you're not rooting for them yet, you will be by the time you see that. Good deal. All right, guys. Appreciate you. We'll see you in the next one. We're out of here in 5. Hanger Rats forever. 3 later. You're too good to be forgotten. We will see you next time. Bye now. Boom. Check out Wild Bill tomorrow night. Later, y'all.